Hello everyone, how's it doing? You guys doing good too? I'm doing good too. Let's get on today's video session. Here we go. Today we have three of the most powerful handhelds. Wow. Are they any good? Are they really even worth buying? The way we look at them. Because I think utmost power sometimes doesn't mean anything. So let's check this out. Street Race Yosaku Shoryo. Is Nintendo Switch Lite still the best modern handheld you can buy for your money? We'll soon find out. Pretty good price though. Woo! Whoa, I gotta stop today. Yeah! Is it really that exciting? Who knows? Can Nintendo Switch Lite chop all these three systems and finish them off? Woo! Okay, some rocking on music for you guys out there. So not bad at all. So let's get on today's video session then. So this is really important because it's confusing people out there what they should be buying. I'm totally confused as well. I mean, we already got the Nintendo Switch Lite already. Why should we buy one of these three systems? You're not going to buy all three of them, are you? Because basically all of these are handheld PCs. Already told you about GPT-Win 3. It's not worth buying at all. I wouldn't buy that over the Nintendo Switch Lite. I mean, in my opinion, so far, everything I've been telling you, I think the Game Boy Advance SP and Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo Switch Lite are one of the best handhelds you can buy. Yeah? For your money. But I'm thinking that Game Boy Advance SP can be one of the greatest handheld from Nintendo. It's got too much. It's the lineup software on that system is really good. It's got really good games. Who cares about the power and stuff like that? Anyway, so let's get into this video today. Now, the first, these are powerful handheld systems. That's what they call them. Well, they are what they're saying. The first one is the OneXplayer, made by a company called One Netbook. I really hate this company. Trust me. You know what I don't like about this company? Do you remember there is that thing called One GX1 Pro? Do you remember that thing? Which was like a 7-inch laptop, and then at the bottom you just put sliding controls like Nintendo Switch style. We're going to talk about that in a separate video because that is not like a proper handheld system, I would say. It's more like a laptop getting converted into a handheld, isn't it? It's kind of a weird system, man. It's one of the most weird things you can ever buy for your money. And then they're going to release this thing called OneXplayer. OneXplayer, right? Let's look at its specs. Remember one thing. Do not ever buy a system because it's got high specs. Otherwise, you're going to make a big mistake. I'm telling you straight here. You're going to soon find out if these systems are worth it or not. In this system, we got Intel-Core i7, 119 5G7 CPU, Intel RSXA graphics, 16 GB dual channel, LPDDR4, 4266 MHz, 1 TB high speed SSD, blah blah, Thunderbolt 4 port, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.0 support, and what? And AAA gaming handheld. Now this device comes in two sizes. They're both ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't like this kind of handhelds. I'll be honest with you. Now, the screen size of this system, there's one, I think, OneXplayer Mini. Mini handheld PC, 7-inch, 7.0. And the large size one is 8.4. Oh my gosh. 8.4! You call that a handheld? 7-inch and 8.4 screen sizes is a handheld. You really think so? You call that a handheld system? I mean, seriously, if we look back in the 1990s, what Nintendo was doing with the handheld market, were they this big? No. They were small. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, Nintendo DS, Nintendo 3DS. Look at all these sizes. Even if you look at Nintendo 3DS, there's a Nintendo 3DS XL. That's only 4.8. Good size. And then the next one was a Nintendo new 3DS XL. 4.8. It's not that big. It's pretty good size. It's just excellent screen size by Nintendo. What the heck is this? Now, if we look at this system, this is not pocketable. This is terrible. This is rubbish. Why do people get excited? Look at this hardware. You need to understand. These are for your palm of your hands to use, like this. Yeah? Every single system I just mentioned by Nintendo is portable. It fits in your pocket. Every single one. Nintendo makes one of the best handhelds. No one can beat them. You think a thing like this can beat that? Just is because it's on Windows 10. 64 Pro Edition. Forget it, man. Who cares? Who cares what's this thing on? This thing is I'll tell you one thing. In terms of width, it's too long because the screen is too big. We're going to go into this. Why did they use these big screens in this? And why is it wrong to release these kind of screen sizes systems? This is absolutely wrong. No one is even telling you anything of this kind of information. They're really silly people out there. Even the people who into IT companies and other people who review them, they don't know what they're talking about. They're ridiculous. They keep on saying that these systems are really powerful and they're really good. But handhelds are made for. Like they should fit on your palm of your hands and they should fit in your pocket. The width of the system is really long. The size from the side is kind of thick as well. It's not usable, man. You'll be putting this in a handbag or a rucksack. Is that what you want to do? A handbag and a rucksack. You need one of them to carry these things. You know what? I tell you one thing. I would never buy a handheld system which is too long in width. It's not worth buying. This is a very wrong system. They should not be making very long systems, man. If you remember back in the time, we used to have JXT 7800B. It was 7-inch. It flopped. You know why it flopped? Because it was too big. It's just like this, 7-inch. But this is the mini version of 7-inch on this side. This is ridiculous. You don't want to buy something like this, which is really long. And from the side, it's not that slim anyway. It's kind of weighty as well. It's not light. If you see loads of people using these things on YouTube channels, have you seen the way they're holding this thing? It's like they're carrying a lot of weight on their in palm of their hands. This is not the way to go with handheld systems. Yeah. So you got all these specs. This is not useful. The other thing is that its width is long, it's thick from the side. The price of this thing is expensive. You don't want to pay so much price for a screen size like this. Come on. A 7-inch costing around about £899. That's crazy. Flipping crazy. And 8.4 takes you up to all the way up to £2,000. 1999.99 pence. What kind of price is that? Why would you want to buy such expensive with a long, thick from the side, expensive device for a handheld PC? That's insane. That's flipping crazy. Only a person with loads of money can buy this thing. You know what? This thing's not easy to buy. It's too pricey. I would not recommend this thing. No, I don't recommend it. Stay away from this one netbook. They made a one GX1 Pro. That was no good. Now they're going with a OneXplayer. Do not buy anything which is long, thick from the side, and it's got a really high price tag. You don't want to use something like this. The screen, come on, man, £899 for 7-inch. That screen ain't that big. Come on, 7-inch. It's not that big, man. It's quite small. I know I just mentioned that the screen is quite too big, but for PC gaming, it's just too small. Yeah, PC gaming is too advanced and stuff like that. Okay, there's this one. Then there's a next one called Steamdeck. You know the Steam program we use on the PCs? They made this system. Steamdeck. It's flipping ridiculous, these machines, aren't they? Now look at this machine. That must be 720p HD as well. This one's got a resolution of 1280 times 800. Yeah, it's just 720p HD on screen. It's not all that. It's crap. Flipping crap. These machines are. These machines are only using 720p HD on screen. They're not that good, really. And then, again, 7-inch. Diagonally. What else we got here? Touchscreen enabled, yes. Okay, Bluetooth 5.0. Okay, still has got Wi-Fi. Audio stuff. Power. Expansion is micro SD. Yeah, okay. It supports SD, SDXC, and SDHC, USB-C, all that kind of stuff in there. It's ridiculous, this thing is. Then you got this size. Look at these sizes, yeah? 298 mm times 117 mm times 49 mm. Okay, let's look at these numbers. 298 mm is the width. 117 mm must be the height. 49 mm must be the depth. It's too long. It's far too long. This machine is too long. Now, even with this Steamdeck, it's 7-inch. They're just releasing a 7-inch one. It's only 720p HD resolution. I'll tell you one thing about this system as well. It's going the same boat as a OneXplayer. Yeah. Let's look at more information. So they're giving you a docking station to connect to televisions and all that. That's it. There's nothing special about this thing. I mean, we're only getting 720p. It's nothing. That's the same way what GPT-Win was doing. Since GPT-Win 1 came out, all the way up to GPT-Win 2, GPT-Win 3, they're all 720p HD. None of these are amazing resolutions. Nothing special about them. I can't believe none of them are 1080p HDs. Well, both of these ain't. The OneXplayer and Steamdeck, they aren't. They're both on 720. So we got GPT-Win 3, OneXplayer, we got Steamdeck, they're all on 720p HD. What is going on here, man? What is going on? You know, they all look like similar. This system in width is long, side from is quite thick. I don't know what to say. We're just a 720p HD, and also, I'll tell you one thing, this thing's not pocketable either. It's crap. It's not pocketable. It's too long. These devices are ridiculous, man. They're not concentrating how they can make these systems small. We're gonna go into the final verdict about the screens. Yeah, that's gonna be done in the end. So this is the same, and then the next one we got is a thing called Aya Neo Next Handheld. How many more do you want, man? How many more do you want to release? I don't know what they're doing. Crazy companies, man. These are just handheld pieces, by the way, yeah? They're not made for anything else. These are ridiculous systems that you could buy for your money. I mean, you really don't want to spend this kind of money. Come on. It's just a handheld pieces, man. Why would you want to spend so much amount of money? I'm looking at some of these pictures on this system. It looks really long. Yeah, looks far too long. These prices tags are big, man. What I'm looking at here, the model I'm looking is £746.96. It's a lot of money, that is. Come on, it's a lot of money. This one is AMD Ryzen. Okay. AMD Radeon Graphics. Okay, this one's a bit different because the other two are they're using different things, aren't they? I'm not sure if OneXplayer is using Intellectual graphics. Steamdeck is probably using Intellectual graphics, maybe. But this one's using something else. This is using AMD Radeon Graphics. This is 7-inch. It's too long. Yeah, it's quite long. This one's too long as well. They're too big, man. Alright. Let me see more description on this thing. Do not just fall for these systems because hold on. Because they got powerful hardware in it. You're not gonna have to carry these things. I'm telling you. You're not gonna have to carry all this stuff. They're too long. Yeah. AAA gaming. Well, it's not gonna fit in your pocket, is it? It's too big. So this is using the cutting edge Ryzen 5 4500U processor. I'm trying to figure out what resolution is this thing's using. Okay, whatever. I'll tell you one thing, these things ain't gonna sell so good. The problem with these machines, they're too long. I mean, who will go out there with the OneXplayer, Steamdeck, and the iNeo Next, carrying very long devices in their hands? You're not gonna be able to put this in your pocket, all three of these. These are all flipping long. A handheld technology is made for your, you know, for your palm of your hands, isn't it? And the other thing is that they're not pocketable, any of these devices. They're too big. Now let's get something straight. Any device which is 7-inch is completely wrong. Now let's talk about the screen sizes. When we look at screen sizes, I remember when we had the GPD Win 1, which gave us 5.5. That is one of the most ridiculous screen size for a handheld PCs. Then GPD Win 2 and GPD Win 3 went for 6.0. Now, they're too small. They're too small, man. Now, if we look at PC gaming, yeah, we're going to compare this technology to Nintendo Switch versus PC. You go, what the heck are you talking about, man? How can you do that when the Nintendo Switch is not powerful as them? You're going to soon find out where I'm coming from. PC games were made originally for laptops and desktop PCs. But these companies are trying to be clever. They're trying to bring you these PC games onto handheld PCs. Is that right? Is that the way it should be done? No, it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Now, PC gaming is not normal. We can have 720p, 1080p, or 4K. Now, the detail in PC games is quite high. It's very high, indeed. The detail in that cannot fit on a small screen. These are 7-inch devices. Even OneXplayer is trying to give you 8.4. It's too small. They're too small. Understand one thing. 7-inch is not small. It's big. It's large. It's very large. For a handheld PC. It's too big. 8.4 is even bigger. It's ridiculous. Now, if you look at the way I'm saying it, if these screens are too long, what am I trying to get here? PC games cannot be made on 7 nor 8.4 because the level of detail of the graphics cannot fit on a small screens. They cannot fit on there. They're too small. You need to have larger screens because even if we have, I'll give you an example. Hold on. So take a look at this screen. Now this is 5.8. Imagine this was 7-inch. Yeah. This is your 7-inch. Yeah. If you start using this for PC, will that be user friendly? Think about that. You cannot fit a PC on a 7-inch? Because normally when we use desktop PCs, right, they they're from 15.6, 17-inch, 19-inch. How can you fit down a 7-inch? Can you see what's going on here? A 15.6, 17-inch, 19 screen size PC graphics on them screens is made for them kind of large screens. You can't fit them on a little 7-inch. That's completely wrong. You know what you're going to be doing on that? You're going to start moving more. Too much. You're going to be moving your device too much to get to that angle. You're going to be using your D-pad because they got D-pads, haven't they? You're going to move your D-pad more to get to that detail. You can't be on a little 7-inch. It's insane because when you're going to be playing first-person shooter games, and for first-person shooter, you'll be going more into the 3D environment. You need to walk more to get the full screen size experience. But when we got it on, even we got like tablets, yeah, like Fujitsu ones. We're gonna go through that Fujitsu one as well. Yeah, we're gonna go through the One GX1 Pro, GPD Win Max, Fujitsu Stylistic Q7311. Them laptop type devices. But these handheld PCs are not right. You can't fit them on there. You'll take ages to view the whole environment on the screen. It's difficult to do that. It's no good. Even if you got 6-inch. I remember I used to have that 6-inch device and it's quite hard to view all the angle. I don't like these devices. I really don't like them. I think they're just rubbish. I don't know why people buy them. Just absolutely rubbish. I don't know why you guys think of them. I'm just giving information. What I'm thinking, from my opinion, what these handheld PCs are wrong. You need at least 10-inch. 10-inch. To have a good viewing angle of 3D graphics. Of first-person shooter games and action-adventure games. Or open-world games. Imagine playing action-adventure and open-world games on these 7-inch 8.4. You crazy or something? Playing them these kind of graphics detail large environments on little screens. You can't do that, man. OneXplayer, Steamdeck, AONEO Next are rubbish. When people are going to find about all this stuff, when they're going to start playing these PC games, people are going to start hating them. You just watch what's going to happen. The viewing angle on these screens, you can't get them. One thing, 7-inch is too long for a handheld PC anyway. Yeah, it's too long anyway. You're not going to go make a 10-inch system, are you? That'd be far too big. If you think if the 7-inch is already too big and you can't put all the detail on that kind of small screen, then these PCs are wrong. All of them are wrong. Who cares what hardware's in there? These PCs are wrong. They are talking about giving you experience of a handheld PC, but viewing them on a small screen is not right. That's what I have to say about these systems. Now, out of the OneXplayer, Steamdeck, AONEO Next, which one would we recommend? Before we go into that, we're going to go back to Nintendo Switch Lite. Now, Nintendo Switch Lite is smaller than all of its devices. 5.5 screen size. Wow. Well done, Nintendo. Ooh, well done. 5.5. The system is smaller. It's portable. It's one of the most portable systems I've seen in the modern world. But the thing with Nintendo, it's not based on these kind of operating system, is it? It's not Microsoft Windows 10 64 Pro Edition, is it? And it's not a PC gaming. These are PC gaming handhelds. It doesn't matter. Because most majority games of PC are on Nintendo Switch. They're on there. Of course they're on there. Games like Samurai Showdown, King Wars 15, Doom. I don't know all the games on there. They're all on there. They're all on Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch is taking very, very modern and third-party games. So don't forget that. So don't even think that you do not need a PC handled. You don't need a handheld PC system to get PC games. No, you don't. Because Nintendo Switch is getting most majority PC games to the Nintendo Switch. But let's look at this screen 5.5. If we are playing Nintendo games on there, which way you're gonna get on PC anyway, will that be right on a 5.5 screen size? Of course. Yes, it's right. Because Nintendo own games are made for Nintendo Switch. Well done. That's gonna be right. But what about the third-party games? The ones we see on PC, they're on Nintendo Switch as well. Will that be right? What do you think? Because I just go, them three powerful handles. Screen's not right. Yes. Nintendo Switch wins on third-party and PC games which are on Nintendo Switch. Because these games are, the developers made these games for the Nintendo Switch. Do you understand? Because if you look at now, let's get this in a deep way now. Because the developers have made these games specially designed for Nintendo Switch. Because these games are not on any other platform, are they? They're designed for this system. The game cards that are Nintendo Switch, which do not load at all. Same thing like Steam. Nintendo, third-party games, and even the PC games which are on Nintendo Switch, they're right for the screen. So why is that OneXplayer, Steamdeck, all new Next games aren't right? Because originally these games were made for laptops and desktop PCs. They weren't designed for these three powerful handhelds. Do you understand? These companies do not understand what they are doing. They're just releasing these powerful handheld hardware, but the screen which they're giving us is too long, and even on 7-inch or 8.4 screen size, you cannot fit a PC game on them screens. Can you see? Now, the Nintendo Switch Lite is small, portable, very compact, and for modern gaming, it's correct. Because a lot of people understand the Nintendo Switch really well. They know everything on that system makes sense. Yeah. Remember one thing, Nintendo Switch is the same way like these three machines. Even with Nintendo Switch Lite, obviously it's a handheld, isn't it really? But Nintendo Switch Lite does have two modes of play. Handheld, tabletop. If you got a stand, I think it's got a stand on this. I think it has. You can still turn it into a tabletop. You should be able to do it. But on them three systems, OneXplayer, Steamdeck, and all new Next, they are handheld, tabletop, and TV on there. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. If a handheld is too long, it's already a failure. Because the tabletop TV's got nothing to do with it. It's a handheld first. It's a handheld PC. If the handheld size is not right, it's a failure. It's a completely failure. In terms of Nintendo Switch Lite, that's very successful, I would say, the way Nintendo's made that. Now, the final part. Final verdict. OneXplayer, Steamdeck, Avenue next. Which one would we buy? Should I tell you which one? I mean, I've been giving all bad feedbacks to all of them. 0. None of them. In this video, no system is successful. We already covered Nintendo's system, Nintendo Switch Lite. Previously, Nintendo Switch Lite won, but as modern technology goes, Nintendo Switch Lite wins again. Obviously, Nintendo Switch Lite had nothing to do with this video session, really. It's about these 3 systems that we were waiting for a big time, but they all failed. They're all failures. None of them are worth buying. Remember one thing in these 3 systems. OneXplayer, Steamdeck, and Arneo next. Their width is too long. They're thick from the side. Yeah. They're not pocketable. And they're all running on 720p HD resolution, kind of. Yeah. They're not, and they got really high price tag. Why would you spend around by even $899 or between 700 to 900 pounds on a 7-inch screen size system? It's not worth it. It's too much. It is. Come on, man. You can buy a desktop PC for £799. It's powerful. Matey won't. I'll tell you, you guys out there, matey guys, it's going to be powerful than these systems. It's not going to be hard like this. I actually looked into even a desktop PC because I can build systems. You can build a great system between £500 to £800. Near enough on RTX. RTX for that price tag. You're gonna go and buy a handheld PC for that price. You gotta understand, these are only just handheld PCs. Yeah? You're paying for just a handheld PC. You're paying that price tag just for a handheld PC. You guys out there, think about this very carefully. A 7-inch screen size costing around about 700 to 900. Is that worth it? It's too expensive. It's too expensive. Intel XE graphics is one of my favorites. You know why? It's very light and it's very usable, and the batteries last pretty long on that kind of GPU. And you know what? It gives you really AAA gaming. It does. But in terms of these systems, I wouldn't buy them for that. No. These are terrible Intel XE graphics systems, man. Yeah, they're not good. Some using Intel XE graphics, some using AMD Radeon graphics. Forget it, man. You don't want to pay these kind of prices for little screens like these. And you can't see all the graphic detail in them. The level of detail of graphics. You can't see it, man. It's just insane. It's stupid for paying for these kind of systems. So I would really say stay away from all of these 3 handheld PC systems. They're not worth the price. They're not good purchases. I mean, so far, if a person already owns a Nintendo Game Boy player, yeah, because I know on the Panasonic Q games console, yeah, if you heard of that system, yeah, obviously it's one of the most amazing games console ever made. You get a Nintendo Game Boy player on there. And the Nintendo Game Boy player plays Nintendo Game Boy Advance games. Now that's like a double facility in there. Nintendo Game Boy Advance and Nintendo GameCube games. Not only that, if you own Nintendo GameCube games on a Game Boy player, you can go and buy the Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP. You can go there and go and get that. So you'll have a handheld on a Game Boy Advance. You will able to play on TV, your Game Boy Advance. You will able to play one of the most amazing Nintendo GameCube games on television. No system alive has ever beaten Nintendo GameCube games. I'll tell you that straight. No system can beat them. They're one of the best video games ever made. Nintendo did a good job on the Nintendo GameCube, I'll tell you that. Now you understand the whole concept of this thing. I'll be honest with you. Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP is a good one. Now your choice is yours on this one. Nintendo DS, Nintendo 3DS. That's entirely up to you. Would you rather go for Nintendo DS, which is without 3D, but Nintendo 3DS gives you real 3D graphics, yeah? And it gives you more advanced games, doesn't it? Or would you go for the most modern system called the Nintendo Switch Lite? You know what? I'll tell you, Nintendo makes the best handhelds. Nobody could beat Nintendo. Nobody can. If you look at the Nintendo Switch, right, even the Sony PS5 and the Microsoft Xbox Series X couldn't beat the Nintendo Switch. You gotta think that because Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch OLED is a handheld tabletop and TV experience. It's a really advanced system, isn't it? Yeah. But the Nintendo Switch Lite, because we're just talking about handhelds in this video. That's why Nintendo Switch Lite will be the best when we talk about the modern gaming system. Personally, my favorite system will be the Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP because it owns the best Nintendo and third-party games on any handheld system, I think, and the way I'm looking at it. And it's very small, portable and compact. It's got a nice screen size and it fits in a pocket. And it's got plenty of games on there. It's a really good system. So yeah, you could consider buying a Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP if you're looking for a handheld system. Yeah. And remember one thing, Nintendo is going to remake the Nintendo Game Boy Advance. It's going to be massive, that is, when Nintendo Game Boy Advance comes out. Would I buy that Game Boy Advance? I don't like the look of that system. I'll probably give that one a miss, to be honest. I rather prefer to buy Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP. It's much, much better than the new one they're going to make us remake. It's good. If they're going to make it, yes, good. You got to pre-install games, yeah. If you want something to be really cheap, a game in a new look of Nintendo Game Boy Advance with pre-install games. We don't know much information about that system, but it's going to be really, really good. That system is. So yeah, I would literally recommend. I will say two things in this video. Obviously, Nintendo Game Boy Advance has technically one of the best games on a handheld system. It's portable and small. It's excellent choice, man. Excellent. Number one choice for handheld systems. If you want something modern world, you want modern gaming, I wouldn't recommend OneXplayer, Steamdeck, and Ionic X. No. Go for Nintendo Switch Lite. Go for that one. Yeah. So you got two choices here. Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP, Nintendo Switch Lite. Congratulations, Nintendo. You have won on both of the systems once again. So there you have it. So in my next video. In my next video, we'll be covering One GX1 Pro, GPT Win Max, and yes, above all, Fujitsu Stylistic Q7311. What do I mean by that? You'll soon find out. in my next video, so watch out for that. Give your likes, comments, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.